Hello friends, how you can be safe during summer? This is the topic we are going to discuss today. I am Dr. Jagaji Singh Virk, MBBS, FCGP, FAMS, PGDGM. Some of the signs and symptoms of summer diseases: fatigue and unconsciousness. There may be delirium, in which restlessness, confusion, and disorientation comes. One may feel nausea and vomiting. There may be headache, or in extreme conditions, there may be death of a person. Who are at risk of summer diseases? Those patients who are pregnant, small babies, the elderly, and the people who are on certain medicines. These medicines can make you to have a raised core body temperature, and that would be lethal to your health. Some of the overweight people, those who are poorly acclimatized to high temperatures around, those who overexert themselves under the sun, also at risk for summer-related diseases. The stages of heat-related illnesses. First is heat cramps. That is the first stage of these illnesses. There may be severe muscle spasm that occurs as a result of salt and water loss following exertion, and it's most often in the hands, in the calves, and in the feet. There may be muscle spasms that can spontaneously stop on their own, but lingering symptoms of soreness often persist for 24 to 48 hours. The next is heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion happens when the body is overheated. It usually with a fever of up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the differences in symptoms between heat exhaustion and heat stroke is sweat. Heat exhaustion is characterized by heavy sweating, and there is loss of salt and water, while those suffering from heat stroke experience decreased sweating. There may be agitation. The skin may be cool and clammy. There may be confusion or anxiety. Dizziness may be there, or there may be excessive thirst due to loss of water and salt. There may be fainting also in the late stages. Headache is common. Muscle aches and cramps. There may be nausea, slow heartbeat, weakness, and fatigue. The types of heat exhaustion, there are two types of heat exhaustion. One is simple water depletion, where the signs include excessive thirst, weakness, headache, and loss of consciousness. And the other is salt depletion. The signs include nausea and vomiting. There may be muscle cramps and dizziness. The third is sunstroke. If the temperature soars beyond 40 degrees Celsius, you need to be very wary of the threat of the sunset stroke. This is an emergency in the health. Exposure to heat for a long stretch of time with dehydration messes with the body's ability to regulate internal temperature. This triggers sunstroke, which can damage your brain cells and maybe lethal. You can foretell the onset of sunstroke from these symptoms, like piercing headache, dizziness, muscle cramps, seizures, elevated heart rate. To avoid sunstroke, drink plenty of fluids. Unfurl your umbrella when you step outside. Avoid going out between 12 noon and 3 p.m. and when the sun is directly on your head, and wear comfortable cotton clothing. There are differences between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Heat exhaustion, feeling faint or dizzy, excessive sweating, clammy skin, nausea or vomiting, muscle cramps. In the heat stroke, there may be feeling of confusion, no sweating, temperature over 40 degrees centigrade, hot and dry skin, nausea or vomiting may be there, may lose consciousness or experience convulsions or seizures. Other problems during summer. Dehydration. Most common problems that when water intake does not compensate for water loss. Lose a lot of water and salts in the form of sweat without realizing. Needs to be replenished for the normal functioning of the body. There may be asthma attack. Heat and humidity can trigger asthma symptoms. There may be coughing and shortness of breath. Lack of air movement, which traps the pollutants like dust and molds into the airways. Chickenpox. Initial chickenpox symptoms include fever and headache, while rashes may start appearing a week after exposure to the virus and develop into blisters that take several days to heal. Since chickenpox can be transmitted through direct contact with the rash or inhalation of air droplets, conjunctivitis, sore eyes, the outer lining around the eyeball and the inner lining of the eyelid become inflamed. Maybe due to a viral or bacterial infection that thrive during the season. An allergic reaction or trauma. May show redness with noticeable itching and discharge around the eyes. Flu. The prevalence in cold weather, they can still cause summer flu. Weather changes like sudden downpour or temperature shifts from hot outdoor to cool indoor environments and vice versa make someone susceptible to respiratory diseases like cough and colds. Other symptoms of fever, muscle aches, and headache. Food poisoning. Foodborne illnesses are twice more common in summer. Food spoils easily in summer thanks to bacteria that thrive on warm weather conditions. Contaminated food and drinks can cause diarrhea and vomiting, can lead to dehydration and possibly complications for chronic health conditions. hyperthermia. Body temperature becomes abnormally high. It cannot regulate heat coming from the environment. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke are medical emergencies that fall under hyperthermia. Headache, dizziness, disorientation, fainting, heavy sweating, and cramps. Avoid strenuous activities or going outdoors in the middle of the day when the sun's heat is at its peak. Measles. Symptoms that include dry cough, high fever, runny nose, and reddening of the eyes. There may be complications ranging from ear infections to pneumonia, including pregnancy problems for women. Mumps spread through an infected person's droplet of saliva, concentrated around the salivary glands near the ears, causing them to swell. Those are the parotid glands. Inflammation on one or both sides of the face may cause pain or difficulty in chewing or swallowing. Also be accompanied by fever, headache, and muscle pains. Rabies. Chance encounters with rabies-infected animals like cats, dogs, and bats, to mention a few. When someone exposes their broken skin to an infected animal's saliva or is bitten by the animal, the rabies virus can then be transmitted to humans. Skin conditions. Sunburn is a common skin condition that happens when someone is in direct and prolonged exposure to the sun. The intense heat can cause first-degree burns with skin redness and peeling, or second-degree burns with blisters, boils, eczema, and impetigo. Heat rashes. Red or pink rashes usually found on areas of the body that are covered with the clothing during hot, humid conditions and is most common in children. Heat rash develops when sweat ducts become blocked and swell up, looking like dots or tiny pimples on the skin. Causes discomfort and itching. Typhoid fever. It's a waterborne disease passed on through the orophycal route. Its common symptoms include high fever, fatigue, weakness, abdominal pain, headache, and loss of appetite. Heat rashes. It is a red or pink rash usually found on areas of the body that are covered with clothing. It happens during hot, humid conditions and is most common in children. Heat rash develops when sweat ducts become blocked and swell up, looking like dots or tiny pimples on the skin. It often causes discomfort and itching. Jaundice. It occurs when there is a water contamination. The main cause is the consumption of contaminated food and water. There may be infections. Those are spread by oral feces route, cause a condition known as hepatitis A that cause jaundice. It occurs when an uninfected person consumes food or water that has been contaminated with human feces. This disease can either be foodborne or waterborne. A few tips to avoid summer problems. Drink plenty of water and increase fluid intakes like coconut water, buttermilk, and lemon water, both at home and while traveling, to keep yourself well hydrated. Ensure you have at least 10 to 12 glasses of water all day. Wear loose-fitting, light-colored clothes, as dark-colored clothes absorb more heat, and tight clothes do not let your body sweat. Opt for light and absorbent materials like cotton. While traveling or during outdoor activities, avoid heavy exercise, seek shade and rest. Never sit in a car exposed to the hot sun and try to park your vehicle under the shade. Apply ice packs and pain relievers for comfort if having sunburns caused due to sun rays. Wash your hands properly and follow general hygiene rules while handling food. Wash your hands before touching or cooking any food items to prevent food and waterborne infections. Wash your hands every time you visit the washroom. Do not eat undercooked and street food and avoid eating outside. Try to eat fresh fruits and vegetables like watermelon, cucumber, sugarcane, and mangoes. Keep windows closed during the sunny hours like afternoon so that the heat does not get trapped indoors. To avoid sore eyes and further spread of infection, clean your hands properly. Wash and lubricate your eyes with clean water to ease soreness. Vaccination with MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella is helpful against infectious diseases. If you or your child are not vaccinated against these three infections, vaccinations should be acquired at the earliest. Apply mosquito repellent and avoid mosquito breeding places. Keep your skin covered and protected. Common summer diseases occur during the daytime. To avoid too much exposure to the sun, especially from noon to around 3 p.m. While traveling or for outdoor activities, protect yourself from sun heat by wearing a cap along with sunglasses. Hat and sunglasses will prevent harmful ultraviolet rays from hitting the sensitive areas on your face and will keep your face fresh and wrinkle-free. Water, top foods that help reduce body temperature. Water, the best way to maintain the correct body temperature is to hydrate regularly. Watermelon, one of the highest water content food, made up of approximately 90% water, also rich in antioxidants that keep the body cool. Onions not only cool down the body but also protect the body from sunspots. Also a superfood that will protect you from various diseases active in summer. Cucumbers, one of the highest water content vegetables, also rich in fiber, which helps with constipation that might occur due to the hot weather. Curd, best dairy products to add to your diet this summer. Most high protein foods are meats and poultry, which might increase body heat. Curd, on the other hand, is high in protein and also cools down the body heat. Coconut water, a great way to increase your water intake if you find drinking water boring. Also rich in various vitamins and minerals which help protect the body from diseases in summer. Mint leaves, just as refreshing as they are cooling to the body, they work great if you want to enhance the flavor of your fruit juices, lemonades, iced teas, and other summer beverages. Aloe vera, another plant packed with water, helps cool down the body if consumed regularly. Also has anti-inflammatory properties and might be beneficial if applied to the skin directly. Green leafy vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables include spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, lettuce, cabbage, and so on. These vegetables have a very high water content and are packed with nutrients. Buttermilk, similar to curd, is one of the very few protein-rich foods that cool down the body. Also a refreshing beverage and also provides relief from gut issues that may be triggered due to the weather. Citrus fruits, great source of hydration and vitamin C, both of which work as a shield against hot weather. Popularly available citrus fruits are oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruit, and so on. Avocado, a great addition to your diet as they are rich in healthy fats. Unlike other fatty foods that might dehydrate the body, avocados are hydrating and the fats help the body absorb other vitamins better. Thank you.